This video shows how to assemble a Beogram 4002 or 4004 model after shipping. Note that this video refers to the later model that have the large sub-platter. For more information about restoration of these turntables, please visit my blog at beolover.blogspot.com or go to my website at www.beolover.com. These photos show the Beogram as it arrives. Here you see it sit in its inner box. I usually ship double boxed. In my opinion, that's the only way to prevent shipping damage. So after you take it out, you'll find that the hood is secured to the rest of the body with no residue tape, that the platters have been taken out, that the cartridge is packed separately, and that the transport locks are engaged. So what you'll have to do is put the platters back in, put the belt on, disengage the travel locks, and put the cartridge back on, and then you are good to go to enjoy your restored Beogram. Here you see the turntable after removing all the tape, etc. And so the first step now is we have to take out the aluminum plate so that we can access the motor down here and put the belt around the lower platter that we need to insert into its bearing. So the first step is to pull the wood cabinet forward. That releases the mechanism that holds the platters down. And so the next step now is to take out this smaller platter, and the ideal way to do this is to pull it up on the side here while holding it down here and then slide it out horizontally, and that's what you see here. The reason for that is there is here this mounting mechanism where you slide the plate back in, and this here pushes it down so it can mate with the larger plate here. So once the small plate is out, the next step is to take out the larger platter. And you saw that I just wiggled it here a little bit. Sometimes it can get stuck in one of those mounting assemblies. And so don't use violence or be impatient, just wiggle it a little bit until it comes out. Okay, and here we go. Now we have access to the motor, and so we can insert the platter into this bearing and put the belt around. But before we put the belt in, it's time to loosen the transport locks. The transport locks, there are 3 of them, one here, one there, and one over here. These 3 locks, they tie down the chassis that is floating freely and that holds the entire turntable mechanism. So it's very easy to do. We just take a screwdriver, and with a clockwise turn, we essentially turn these bolts as far as we can, and that gives the chassis its maximum freedom to float. You see here it's loose now. And of course, as long as the platters aren't in there, the springs that pull it up, they pull it right against the transport lock, so it's not floating freely. But you will see once you put the platters in, this here just has enough weight on it that it can just move freely. Now it's time to put the lower platter in and the belt. So carefully put it into its bearing. And now the belt. And so it's really, the way to do it is to guide it here onto the motor pulley while with the other hand pulling it around the platter and turning it in the process. So you see this here. I just put it carefully on there, and now I hold it with my thumb towards the platter, while with my other hand I guide it into the pulley. And you see here it almost popped out, but we recovered, and so now the belt is on. This might take a couple times if you've never done it before, so just be patient and try a few times. Before we put the top platter on, we need to put the aluminum plates back in. And we do that just in the reverse order as we took them out. So first we put in the larger one. And the important part here is that you put it in the right orientation. There is this copper strip sticking out, and that serves the purpose to keep the smaller plate from sagging, because there is no support under the carriage pass here. So just put it on carefully, and with a little wiggle you can seat it properly. Sometimes this can be a little bit tricky, so again, patience and be careful. And now it's time to put in the smaller platter. And we do this the same way we took it out. We come in from the side at a shallow angle, and you need to make sure that it catches here this copper track that is implemented here. That serves the purpose to draw it into the right position relative to the larger platter. So here it catches, and now we push it in. And sometimes now it gets stuck here because this ledge needs to go under the larger platter, yet we need to be above the copper strip. And so what you need to do is now, sometimes you need to pull the larger platter up while moving the smaller one in. And you see that here, I do that with the other hand, and now it seats. The next step is to push the wood cabinet back. So this secures the plates in place, and now we can finally put the top platter on. The final touch is to put the cartridge on the tone arm. You just hold it and stick it on, and that's it. Now it's time to enjoy your Beogram. A great way to do this is with my remote control for the Beogram. Check this out. Enough advertising. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now you know how to assemble your Beogram after shipping. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.